over here.
Is it over there?
Yeah.
30 seconds, right? Yeah.
Oh, I think you just made it.
Okay, Mayor, it's your turn. You're up.
I'll call to order the, June 23rd, 2025 meeting of Community Promotions and Engagement Committee. Mr. Cannon, I would ask, if we are, in compliance with all of our FOIA requirements and posting requirements.
We are in compliance.
Yeah, great, thank you. We have in our packets the minutes from the May 15th meeting. Does anyone have any questions about the minutes or comments? Will someone make a motion, please, to approve the minutes?
I'll so move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
They're approved. And we have two grant requests today. First one being the Super Garland Photography Club. I think we've got two photography club representatives in the room. So Jeff, Bill, whoever going to make a presentation.
I'll start with Jeff and Chip in. One thing that was interesting, I think you know all about our problems trying to get an exemption. Bureaucracy at its best, and Pete asked me to just give you an outline. It's interesting when you fill out this form. It's called the annual application for registration. We're not a 501, so we're in a different category. So for registration exemption, get this form, and it's 8 different charity categories. So anyhow, we were an organization which just runs on our dues, which we do. We have $100 to get in guest fees or something like that. Well, they read our website, saw that we would charge a guest for $10 to come to one of our presentations, and rejected us. So then
Because it said donation at first, right, on the website, it said $10 donation for guests or,
well, it was fee though.
yeah.
That's what got their attention. So anyhow, so we said, okay, we'll drop that, we'll drop the guest fee and go back at them. So we went back at them, and finally I got a lady who was very helpful. She felt sorry for us. And so finally we went back in. This is the craziest thing. We're back in, and we're under a charitable organization that does not intend to solicit or refuse contributions from the public in excess of $7,500. I would have never chosen that category, but she directed us that category. We filled it out. So then I call up and they go, well, recently haven't heard anything from us. We have 1,000 applications sitting on our desk. It'll be 4 to 5 weeks before we even get to yours, but they did. So I'm over and we're in on the ship in the middle of that training. I got this email that we were accepted. So then we went ahead and delivered the letter to Pete and stuff. But that was a probably 3-month process. So when you pay your taxes to the state, you know where it's anyhow. We are asking for the renewals, which are typical of us. The website hosting, Legally, and Zoom, Microsoft. And then we have 2 sort of new things. And Jeff, you can speak to Pixie. Pixie sets our platform where the public can look at all of our photos.
Yeah, we started, it's an annual subscription, it's a content delivery service. We started subscribing to that last year. That's how we deliver photos to Abby. The communications people at Sapoa, communications people at the club, and it's a very convenient way to provide our images to everybody as opposed to emailing huge files around. So that's a one of our period expenses. We're a small club. We run on dues and your support. Our main expenses is speaker fees, 6 or 7 times a year and these annual subscriptions, so. We're not having mega parties or anything like that, so we graciously ask for your continued support of our efforts to distract people from complaining on Nextdoor and Facebook, which.
Well, why don't you say, how many photos do we have the 2 years of the Alan Fleming?
Yeah, it's,
How many is that?
I mean, there's 40,000 photos on there, so it's. It's a key enabler for a couple of big events, and it's a convenient way just to deliver the images to the communication staff of the 3 entities on that, so.
And we just solicited just open solicitation of the club, setting up the road race on the 3rd and the parade and the fireworks and everything, so that'll all go. And then what Jeff does, he sends out a sort of a public email to people who live in Seabrook of the code, so that they can go on there and see all those photos. So it's pretty cool. So the last thing we got is we've been having a lot of problems delivering our presentations with computers. Sometimes the presenter would like to use theirs, so we go ahead and let them use it. And then it doesn't match up with the SAPOA equipment. So then we struggle with that. Then we bring our own in and we just go in round and round circles. So what we're asking the $350 for is just a rebuilt, simple computer that will be totally dedicated to presentations. We'll ask the presenters to give us their file. They'll be on our computer that hooks into all the SAPOA. It'll all be set up and stuff like that. So that's really the only big thing that we're asking for this year.
Any questions for Bill or Jeff? No comments? I guess a motion to approve the request. Second. Any discussion? No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're good, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming back.
Eventually. We were trying as much.
One thing on the cruise you didn't want to think about.
Yeah, Bill.
Which Williams Street,
Tomorrow.
well, did they have to come today?
Yeah, well, that would be good point. So we're trying to encourage, cause I don't really. Is it a requirement, did we adopt it as a requirement to attend? No, it's just encourage.
This meeting is a requirement.
Yeah, you guys kind of said not required, but strongly advised, show up and.
Encourage, yes, so try to be there tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, what time?
2:30,
2:30 normal, yeah,
that'd be very good, thanks.
the normal.
Yeah.
Okay, terrific.
All right, the next on the agenda is the grant request for Seabrook Island Artist Guild. Michael, would you make a presentation?
Sure.
Explain what your goals are here.
We are about 110 member artist guild, dues of $35 a year. And what we're trying to do, and have been doing the last few years, trying to make this accessible to all Seabrook. For example, an Eagles Nest on a lot of Tuesdays, we make it available to anybody, whether you're a guild member or not, to take something as beautiful as art and find ways to learn your inner artist or learn about an artist like John Singer Sargent. And so we're continuing to do more outreach, more things in this regard. We're having an event next year in April where we are challenging our artists to spend time in different places of Seabrook Island. Look at it and what is it that touches you or captures your imagination in your medium? We're mediums of fine art and fine craft. And then what we're going to do is we want to make a premier event. In fact, we're in contact right now with major artists in our area to be a presenter next April. What we want to do is to actually have very nicely custom made trophies that we would get in this calendar year for next year and have displayed at the Lake House for 3 people. Obviously, the first is the first place, second, third, because the public All employees are gonna be welcome, all visitors, guests for about a 2-week period in April of next year. It'll be a people's choice. It will be a people, including children, to look these over and say, what do you like about it? Or just to get input, to have interaction. And then we're gonna do the reception with the presenter like the third week, open again to everybody on the island. So we want to make this a premier event in the intent, not to just look at recognize an artist, but look at art. And let art continue to be I think I said, well, in this world with your photography art, to be able to do something positive. And so that's why we approach I approach on behalf of our guild, this weekend.
Thanks. Any questions?
Michael, will members of the guild, the art guild, who are photographers be allowed to enter the competition?
We have, what we do is we support what mediums we can do. And our mediums are fine art, fine craft, in oils, clays, watercolors, in wood and metal. There's a photography club. So we don't support photography as a medium, just like we don't support a number of other mediums that are out there. We just can't support that. And since there is already a very well-established art club, then it makes sense that we try to work within the things we can support. We have demo artists that come in, local and national. That's where we spend our money every month to try and help the artists that are working in those mediums. So it's really medium supported. We found that we had to change things. We had a lot of what we call crafty crafts. We can't support that. We had people that were doing food art. We don't support that. It's not trying to isolate, it's trying to say, these are the things that we can do. And what our original charter was when we go back to the people that started the guild, including one of the very renowned people that y'all probably know quite well, like Mary Watkins. I interviewed them and talked with them.
I guess I would consider photography fine art.
I consider music fine art. I consider, we've had people of opera wanted to do a dance. My wife's a writer, I consider writing fine art. But we only can support a certain amount of mediums, and those are the mediums that we're supporting.
What do you mean by support?
That we will put up on our walls, just like the photography club, we have equal amount of space. Actually, we all got it, more of it, as we know. To support as artists of the month, to have people come in and talk to us. We have fine art, oil, paints, acrylics, etc. come in and do demos, and we have fine craft from basket to fiber to variety of other of those crafts that we can support. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. We have a fine art photography club, but these are the things that we can't support. We don't do food anymore. We have a lot of things that when I say support, we're not going to go out there and have somebody come and give us a talk. It's what they're coming to talk to us with our demos. We pay also for demo people too.
I guess I would hope for more collaboration.
Collaboration's good, but we have others, but we're not asking to go on your wall. And we're not asking to say, hey, can y'all please let us do this? I mean, it's nothing is wrong that it's competition. It's like us going to the flower club. Flowers are beautiful art, but we don't support flowers. We're not gardeners. You have, I go back to dance and music. Would love to do that. There was talk about cooking as art and food. Start a cooking group. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other?
I do have another question, Michael.
Sure.
You've allocated 800 for the awards and 300 for the
Food.
hospitality and
Yes.
food. Can you talk a little bit more about that? It seems to me it should maybe be the other way around.
Want to get, the main part of this is that we want premier awards that people are seeking out. We want them to understand the Seabrook Island Artists Guild annual event focusing on Seabrook Island to be a very recognized event. That's what the individuals would have. That's why they have a little bit of that design competition. We're going to do a lot of our bringing our food and wine for this because it's going to be a reception open to everybody on Seabrook. We're just trying to access a little bit more, and that's why I made that request.
And I would assume you've done some checking out of possible award.
Yes, so with 3 different places.
Mhm.
We have to allocate with the numbers.
Sure, okay,
They haven't designed anything yet, because I didn't know, maybe we wanted to put the town logo or the Seabrook Sapola logo. We want it to be recognized as the Seabrook item
okay,
event.
thanks.
Thank you.
Larry, any questions?
No.
Would someone make a motion
I'd be happy to make a motion
to approve?
to recommend approval of the photographer, or for the art guild, grant request. Second.
Any discussion? Susan, anything you wanted to say there?
I don't recommend this because of the exclusion of one. Very recognized type of art.
May I ask if we were to ask to bring, I mean, not that I want to bring our paintings into the photography club, it just. I think delineation is good to do. We don't work with equipment the way you do. We don't have the talent to capture things the way you do. That's what I mean by support. It's a very different medium to me. It's not one's better than the other. They're just different. Like I say, dance, music.
Well, the award, one other question, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Is this award going to be reused every year like a trophy that you get your name on it this year and next year the next person gets?
We were gonna do them each year so that person can have, to do something each year, you have to make it more expensive. One of the considerations also is that the artwork would stay up for the whole year. That way it could be seen and people will see this is going on. We want this to be in people's sight, in their mind.
Any other discussion? We had a motion and a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, it's passed to recommend approval by council. That'll be tomorrow at 2:30, and Michael will be helpful and strongly recommended to be there here. Okay, thank you. Joe, Pete, budget wise, where are we now with committed funds?
Assuming that these two are approved by council tomorrow, you will have $360.
Left.
And I told you, I am anticipating at least one more application.
Alright. Anyone have any other comments to make? No? Then I think we can adjourn.